SilentHeroFilms.com, SilentHeroFilms.com. So I tell you my day yesterday. So I just because I don't know why, it's kind of cathartic when you're talking to people, to perfect strangers like y'all. Had a basketball game. We won 97-54 with 2-0. And I literally forgot about the fight. And then my boy G hit me, was like, "Oh, you watching the Shakur Stevenson fight?" And it came on at a perfect time. We had just got done because our day was offset because of the game. We had just got done doing our homework and dinner, and the kids were off to bed. And I think the fight started definitely after 8, but I don't know what time. So it allowed me to watch that fight. I didn't get a chance to watch the first fight. And so I sat down and I thought Shakur Stevenson was going to put on a hell of a performance. And then, as I'm watching, I'm like, this guy is not really a fighter. First, let me say this before I get it. He beat the guy with one hand. He beat the guy with one hand. Looked phenomenal. But let me tell you one thing. One thing's for sure is two things for certain. When you put pressure on someone, how do they respond? Right? 3 things has happened in Shakur Stevenson's last 6 fights. Miss weight, 1. Lackluster last night. And lackluster against Nakatani. Or the African kid, not Nakatani. I don't know his name. So there's a 50% chance in the last 6 fights something's going to not be right with Shakur Stevenson. And you know what that is? Pressure to perform. Pressure to live to the standards who you say you are. Oh, Fred, what are you talking? I'm not a fighter. When I was a journalist in boxing, I was the best journalist in boxing. Period. End of discussion. I never shied away from a question, never shied away from an interview. I went to Eddie Hearn. I went to Oscar De La Hoya. I didn't wait for them. I went towards them. I drove 6 hours to go get that interview with Andre Ward. Yeah, just for that interview. That's a fact. I was called crazy. When you desire to be great, people are going to label you insane. It's like when Kobe was alive, oh, he's this, he's that. When he died, wow, Mamba mentality. When he was alive, Mamba mentality, oh, he's selfish. He's not a great teammate. He only thinks about himself. He pushed Shaq out of town. How many championships would they have won? But now, when you realize what it takes to be great, gotta be disciplined. Floyd Mayweather's never missed weight. Andre Ward has never missed weight. You understand what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson has a greatness issue. Do you want to be great, Shakur? Because that performance I saw last night, and I was eager to listen to your interview. You said, oh, there was stuff going on, but I can't make excuses. Which one is it? I know something was wrong with your left hand, but I saw Deontay Wilder break his hand in the fight and still knock a guy out. And I'm not comparing and contrasting. I'm saying when you're in a people-pleasing business, you got to please, period. Your career is based off ticket sales and pay-per-views. That's it. And you got to be fan-friendly. I thought it was a dud. I walked away like Shakur Stevenson is hot and cold, man. Some performances, he looks great. He looks like a Hall of Famer. Looks like the best thing since sliced bread. But the one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, when you hit Shakur Stevenson first in a fight, he ain't going to counter you. I tell you that much. If you come out and meet him in the middle of the ring and you let him feel your power, you let him feel that there's another man in the ring, oh, man. He don't want no parts of that. Man, that man didn't counter. Last fight ago, I'm sitting there like, the last fight, Shakur, I'm going to take my time with this, man. I got time. I'm on my own time right now. I got to find my key. Kennedy done dropped my key and it's black. I got black carpet down there, so I got to try and find this little key. Anyways, I got time today. Looked at my watch, Blue Blood. I got time today. And I'm like, man, this kid is sharp. Perfect distance. Counter, left hand. Counter, left hand. Turn. The banana hook. You know what I mean? Dropping hammers on him. Dropping rocks, sludges, everything. I'm like, yo, he different. He different. And then a man meets him in the middle of the ring and he shows him he's as strong as he is. And what does he do? Yeah, I don't want no parts of that. This is what greatness is. Going in an uncomfortable environment. Me going into the zone knowing that nobody wants me there and still going to seek Eddie Hearn. Uncomfortable is going to a Golden Boy event knowing that Golden Boy hates me. They despise me. But I go incognito, put my hoodie on, you know what I mean, and then get to the thing and they kick me out and I smile. I'm a journalist, not a fighter. Shakur Stevenson, you're a fighter. Judge me on when it gets hard. Your character and your integrity will reveal itself when the oven gets hot. When the oven gets hot, Shakur, you miss weight. When the oven gets hot, Shakur, you bail out of a fight. When the oven gets hot last night, you shell up. This isn't hate. This isn't hate. I don't hate Shakur at all. But Shakur does not show up when the oven gets hot. Deontay Wilder said, got knocked out the second fight. You know what he said? I want a rematch. Went to court for the rematch. You know what happened in the first, second, third round? He got knocked down. You know what he did? He got up. You know what he did? He knocked Tyson Fury down twice. But just before the ref stopped the fight, Wilder was still trying to get up. Earl Spence was trying to figure it out. There's a mesh point in boxing. There's a mesh point. There's a real physical mesh point in boxing. Now, y'all trainers and y'all fighters can explain it much more eloquently than I can. But there is a mesh point where you have to cross to be great. Andre Ward was phenomenal at it. There's a mesh point. You know that middle distance? You got to figure out how to cross that bridge. Shakur Stevenson is afraid to cross that bridge. Shakur Stevenson doesn't want to get hit, which is right. Shakur Stevenson doesn't want to put himself in harm's way. Shakur Stevenson doesn't want to say, I'm the greatest. Shakur Stevenson don't want to say, I'm the GOAT. Shakur Stevenson don't want to say, I'm TBE. Shakur Stevenson wants to be comfortable. And when you make Shakur Stevenson feel uncomfortable, he will not counter you, and he will single shot you to death. Now, that's where the amateur pedigree comes in at. You got to be Maidana with a skill set to beat him. Simple as that. You got to have the veracity of a Maidana and the baseline skill set of a Gary Russell. That's what it's going to take to beat him. But Shakur Stevenson, you're not great. And I'm rooting for you. Like I said, he looks like my son. He reminds me of Lincoln when I look at him sometimes. I don't hate the kid. I'm challenging the kid. Do you want to be great? Can you convince me to get on a plane, fly to Newark, fly to Vegas, to come and pay a couple $1,000s to come, and it's centered around Shakur Stevenson's fight? I did it for Floyd. I did it for Ward. I did it for your boy Crawford. Can you convince me to get on a plane, fly into Newark, which is beautiful? I could fly into Newark. I ain't even got to stay overnight, Shakur. I could fly into Newark, catch that train, that you've caught, I'm sure, plenty of times from Newark Airport. It takes me right to the Prudential Center. I go downstairs, buy my ticket, go into the arena. The fight ends. I go upstairs, catch the train back to Newark, and catch a red eye back to LA. Can you convince me to do that? I ain't even got to pay for hotel. And everybody know how frugal Fred is. I'm frugal Freddy in real time. It would literally only cost me $300 to $400 if I did it that way. Fly in Saturday and catch the first thing smoking Sunday morning to watch you fight in Newark. I think it's like the second stop on the train. You know what I mean? I know Newark, and, I've been to New York 1,000 times. I fly into Newark to save some money, but the taxes, Kennedy and LaGuardia got them New York taxes on it, on your plane tickets, a little bit different. But anyways, that's how frugal I am. Yeah, see, money talk. Anyways, as I digress, it's up to you, man. It's up to you, Shakur. What are you going to be? I'm not saying get knocked out. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. I saw you miss weight, man. When I saw you miss weight at a young age, that didn't bother me. That's the wrong word, but then it lets me know who you are. When a man is willing to counter your jab with a jab or lead with a jab, I'm like, oh, this man won't stand in the pocket. He won't be great. He won't put himself at minimal risk. Oh, Fred, you don't know what it's like to be in there with a fighter. No, I know what pressure is. I know what pressure is. Yes, big time pressure. I know what it's like to stand before Andre Ward and ask him the questions that everybody's wanting to ask him, but is afraid to ask him. I know what it's like to stand in front of Oscar De La Hoya and ask him about them emails. That's pressure. I know what it's like to stand before Bob Arum and hold him accountable. That's pressure. I could stand in the gap. I could stand in that middle distance and land my straight left, land my banana hook. Shakur Stevenson is afraid to stand in the gap. He's not a coward, but he's afraid to be great. Now, you can clip this, Shakur, and do what you want with it. You clipped me last time. I don't hate you. When you're 35 and 40, you're going to appreciate this voice. You don't appreciate it right now because you're on the high side. That's all I'm saying. It's not about money. It's not about this and that. No. It's about what do you do when no one's watching? What do you do when the oven's on? See, that's how you reveal your character. Do you throw your cigarette on the ground? Do you throw your Starbucks coffee? Do you pour your Starbucks on the ground because nobody's watching? Or do you hold it for 7 minutes until you get to that building and throw it in the trash? Do you pull over in the alley and pee because no one's watching? Or do you drive to that McDonald's, get out of your car, go into McDonald's, go to the bathroom? That's what greatness is, really. Yeah. Because so many of y'all just going to pull over and piss. And when everyone's expecting you to be great, when you got to cross that threshold to be great, Floyd did it against Cotto. Ward did it against Kovalev. When all the chips are on the table, Thursday night, everybody done left the NFL game to come watch you. Everyone is going in between Golden State and OK City last night. Golden State, OK City, Shakur Stevenson. You know what they said? Forget Shakur Stevenson. I'm about to watch Steph Curry. I'd rather listen to Charles Barkley and Shaq banter than watch this guy fight. Shakur Stevenson's afraid to get hit. Shakur Stevenson is afraid to create a bridge to somewhere. That's the difference between good and great. That's why you respect Timothy Bradley, Provodnikov. That's why you respect him. He figured it out. You got to figure it out, Shakur. It's on you. What you gonna do? Now I can see if you were jabbing, left hook, left upper, just having fun with it. You're not who you say you are right now. Things can change. Oh, you don't know what it's like to fight. I'm not a fighter. When I was a journalist, I showed you who I was. In real life, how many journalists do you know in boxing that have a whole family? How many? How many do you know wake up with their whole family intact, in tow? Or they stepdad? When the pressure is, I'm 46, when the pressure is on the table, right before your eyes, how do you respond? Do you get a divorce? Do you become a stepdaddy? Do you abandon your kids? You only see them twice a week? I've been doing this every day of my life. I respond to pressure. Just not a fighter. I'm a man, no. I know what pressure is. 9 out of 10 of y'all ain't gonna get this video. That's fine. The 10% will. Right? Gotta figure it out. I tell my son Lincoln all the time, Kennedy's coming along, but I say, Lincoln, you gotta figure it out. You have all the fundamentals. Figure it out. Y'all can see the videos. My son figuring it out. Y'all watching it in real time, 3rd grader. Gonna be a dog. A dog. Shakur Stevenson's not a dog. Yeah, he's not. No, you're not a dog, Shakur. You ain't a dog. Nah, man, you're a celebrity now. You're a celebrity now, Shakur. And listen, if you can keep doing what you're doing and winning, but listen, that money gonna dry up. You gotta cross that threshold. If you don't cross that threshold, dog, hopefully you save your money and invest your money, do it wisely. But you gotta figure it out. Yes, you were boring, but not the fact that you were boring, because they've called Floyd Mayweather boring. You was afraid to cross that threshold. Yeah. There's a threshold in life that you got to cross. You know what it's like to stay married? What it's like to 24 years now? Next year it'll be 24 years. You got to cross a lot of thresholds. You can give up. Like, y'all going to listen to a lot of guys on YouTube that gave up. I'm getting a divorce. Forget it. I don't make enough money. I'm just going to stay at this job. Got to cross that threshold, dog. You ain't ready. Are you built for it? I don't know. I don't know if they built you that way. I don't know if you're from Brick City. Barbershop Conversations, man. Click the link below, man. Silent Hero Films, man. Go watch Checks. If you think I'm afraid, go watch Checks and click the link below and go watch Checks and Balances. Go pay your $10 and see if I'm afraid. I'm gone. Peace.